Welcome to IAS project. In this video, let's talk about Vedic literature. Particularly, we will talk about Rig Veda. Before we go into the lecture, let me ask you a question. Which of the below is not included in the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity? We have four options here: Vedic chanting, Durga Puja in Kolkata, Kumbh Mela, and Bharatanatyam. If you know the answer to this question, please answer it in the comment section. Also, please write a short note on what is representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity and which international body manages this representative list. And finally, what are the other elements of Indian culture that are included in the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. I will pin the best answer in the comment section. Let's talk about Vedic literature. Vedic literature comprises of Veda Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads. We have learned that Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads are called as allied Vedic literature. They are called as allied Vedic literature because Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads are generally attached to each Veda Samhita. We know about Veda. What exactly is Samhita? Samhita simply means collection. Collection of what? Collection of hymns, or let's say poems. So the collection of Vedic hymns is simply called as Veda Samhita. So we have Rig Veda Samhita, Sama Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita and Atharva Veda Samhita. These are basically the four Veda Samhitas that we have. And for every Veda Samhita, there are attached Brahmanas and attached Aranyakas and Upanishads. This is the meaning of allied Vedic literature. So the word Veda actually comes from the root Vid. Vid means to know or to have knowledge in ancient Sanskrit. Actually, this is where the word Vidya comes from. Vidya means education. So if we talk about Veda Samhitas, then we have four Veda Samhitas. They are nothing but Rig Veda Samhita, Sama Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita and Atharva Veda Samhita. Of these four Veda Samhitas, Rig Veda Samhita was the earliest and the remaining three were written later. That is why these are also called as later Vedic literature. So when we say early Vedic literature, we mean Rig Veda Samhita. When we say later Vedic literature, we mean Sama Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita and Atharva Veda Samhita. Along with all these, later Vedic literature also means the allied Brahmanas, Aranyakas as well as Upanishads. I hope this point is clear. So what are Brahmanas? Brahmanas are basically treatises that relate to prayer and sacrificial ceremonies. Treatise simply means a formal written work. So Brahmanas are basically treatises that relate to prayer and sacrificial ceremony. What about Aranyakas? The word Aranyakas has Aranya in it. We know that Aranya simply means forest. That is why Aranyakas are also called as forest books. These Aranyakas were mainly written by hermits. Hermits means the munis and rishis that were living in the forests. And Aranyakas deal about mysticism, rites and rituals as well as sacrifices. If we talk about Upanishads, Upanishads are basically philosophical texts. And these philosophical texts deal with a variety of matters. For example, they deal with topic of soul, which is nothing but Atma. They deal with the absolute, which is nothing but Brahma. They also talk about the origin of the world and some other mysteries of nature. The word Upanishad literally means that to come and sit before. So it is basically the students that come and sit before the gurus to learn Upanishads. And Upanishads are philosophical texts of Vedic literature. So this is the basic information that you need to know about what are Vedas and what are Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads. As we go on in the course, we will talk about some particular Brahmanas and particular Upanishads also. There we will learn more about Brahmanas and Upanishads. Moreover, this is important mainly from art and culture point of view, not from ancient history point of view. However, we will try to cover as much as we can. If we talk about early Vedic literature, it is basically nothing but the Rig Veda. So Rig Veda is called as early Vedic literature and the remaining Vedas and Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads are called as later Vedic literature. Rig Veda Samhita was composed in early Vedic period, that is nothing but between 1500 BCE and 1000 BCE. Rig Veda Samhita basically has 1028 hymns. Hymn is nothing but a religious song or a poem of praise that is sung for a god. Okay? And the hymns of Rig Veda are called as Suktas. Rig Veda is not a single entity. Okay? Rig Veda comprises of 10 mandalas. Mandala simply means book. But please note that Rig Veda was not written initially. So Rig Veda has 10 books or 10 mandalas. Out of these 10 mandalas, the mandala number 1 and mandala number 10 are considered as the latest additions to Rig Veda Samhita. So mandala 1 and mandala 10 are the newest parts of Rig Veda Samhita. And from the remaining mandalas, basically mandala number 2 to mandala 7 are considered as the oldest part of Rig Veda. And these mandalas, that is mandalas 2 to 7, were composed almost around 1500 BC. Mandala 10 and mandala 1 were actually composed close to 1000 BC. So the Rig Veda Samhitas were actually written in praise of various gods and goddesses. For example, various suktas in Rig Veda were actually written praising the god Indra, who is nothing but the thunder god, god Agni, who is nothing but the fire god, god Varuna, and other gods. We will talk about some of the important gods when we talk about religion during early Vedic period. But for now, please remember that Rig Vedic hymns were generally written in the praise of various gods and goddesses. So these Rig Vedic hymns were basically composed by Rishi poets. And Rishi poets simply means poets who were basically Rishis. You can call Rishi in English as sage. That is why you can call Rishi poet as sage poet. So some of the important Rishi poets of Rig Vedic period are Vishwamitra, Vashishta, Bharadwaja, Atri, and Grit Samada. You don't need to remember all these names, but please try to remember Vishwamitra and Vasishta. One of them wrote the Gayatri Mantra. If you know who among these two wrote Gayatri Mantra, please answer in the comment section. So early Vedic literature includes Rig Veda Samhita as well as other texts that were composed by these Rishi poets. Rig Veda also mentions some priests during this period. For example, Kotri and Motri are the priests that were existing during Rig Vedic period or during early Vedic period. Let me also give you some information about Rig Veda which is important from the point of view of current affairs. In 2007, Rig Veda manuscripts were included in UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. From India, not only Rig Veda, there were also some other manuscripts which were included in Memory of the World Register. In 2008, the tradition of Vedic chanting has also been inscribed on the UNESCO's representative list of Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. This is very, very important. You must try to remember the complete representative list from India that has been registered on the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity list, okay? These questions can be directly asked in prelims exam. So Vedic literature also gives us information about historical events, society, polity, economy, religion, as well as philosophical thought that was existing during Vedic period. So this is why Vedic literature becomes not only important from the point of view of religion, but also from the point of view of history. In our next lecture, we will start with the historical events that were happening during Rig Vedic period. If you like this video, please subscribe. You can download this presentation from our Telegram channel. The name of the channel is IAS Project. You can find the link for this channel in the description section below. Thank you.